Well, hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Left Hand Society. We are a queer-friendly, neurodivergent, nerdy podcast made by weirdos, for weirdos, and whoever else might be listening. I'm Steve.
I'm Revi.
And I'm Patrick.
And this being our first episode, we figure we might as well get down to introducing ourselves. So, who wants to go first?
Oh my god. I mean, I'm fine going first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I'm Revi. I don't know.
Here's a good one, like pronouns.
That's a good one.
What is your flavor of neurodivergency?
Oh my god, I'm wearing depression. No.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Me three.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've gotten that out of the way. I guess we're done. See you guys.
Yeah, bye. Nice meeting you.
No, I'm Revi. She, her pronouns, and gosh, all the neurodivergencies. I'm a deadly cocktail of neurodivergencies.
Yeah.
Bipolar disorder, I would say, is my
Fun.
if we have powered rings like
like Captain Planet.
Bipolar disorder.
Dissociative disorder.
ADHD.
Yeah.
And together we are Captain Neuroses.
Yeah, but my interests are all over the place. Anime is my kind of go-to that we've been talking about, but I've always been into music. I was part of a ska band for a while.
Ska, that's right.
You play trumpet. Or saxophone.
Yeah,
trumpet. Yeah.
No, I don't.
They're both horns, man.
Okay, now we're gonna have a whole episode about this.
Okay.
That'll be saved for our band nerd episode. One entitled "One Time at Band Camp."
Oh my god! Yes.
I mean, that's something though. We're both musicians. I mean,
I used to play several things.
So we're all musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tooted our own horns a little bit.
Musician.
Well, I don't toot my.
Well, I got paid for it.
I play piano, so.
You were definitely a musician.
But
Hey, so did I.
Gosh, everything from sci-fi to role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games.
But also you were saying about video games too, though.
A little bit, yeah. Not so much.
More computer gaming, though.
Yes, definitely more on the PC side.
I feel like we should have written down so I'm my pronouns, what I'm drinking. Oh, what are you drinking?
Oh my god! Well, I think Patrick should answer that because Patrick's the one that brought it
over.
Well,
the two of you.
Drinking Red Stripe. It's my favorite beer.
And we all have a bit of a nip of a spirit called Lucky Sign. It is a Card Shark bourbon. Yeah. In front of us that we will also be enjoying through.
Lucky Sign's local?
You know what? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So local to Pittsburgh, PA, because that is also where we are. We are in the Rust Belt.
My partner and I picked it up at a thing that we went to. So that's something I should mention.
That's a technical term.
I'll get back to that, but my brain is broken.
Anything else that you would like to add to your introduction?
I guess because we're trying to make sure that everybody knows that this is a safe space. I am the one trans person in the group. I'm a trans woman. Been doing that journey for going on, 4 years now.
Yeah.
Really, that's it. I thought, no, I mean that because you seem so sure in your identity, and
I've only been medically transitioning for 2 years.
Well, how long have you known that though? Then,
that I was trans?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Because you told me you've gone through kind of a phase demi girl and.
Yeah, I would say that I had the notion in my head for, since I was a wee kid.
Okay, but you've only been medically transitioned for 2 years.
2 years, yeah, and I've only been seeing a shrink for it for.
Do you mind my asking how long you've been presenting?
A little bit longer than that.
Okay. That's just 4 years, I swear. You just
actually a year longer because
before we
these are some cheat codes for all of you would-be trans kids in the future or trans adults anytime you're transitioning. I'm pushing 34 here in a couple of weeks, and so it's not like I started early or anything like that.
Right.
But typically a lot of psychologists, before they start giving you your meds and stuff like that, they want you to be living your life as the gender that you want to present for a year.
Okay.
Because we live in America.
That's a whole conversation that we have an entire episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly,
we'll definitely be talking
queer,
about
not
this.
queer identities.
We'll come back around
but,
to it.
Yeah,
sure. But I mean, we should probably get our introductions out of the way.
Everyone knows Revi now.
Yeah, I'm Revi.
And I'm Revi. Patrick?
I am Patrick E. Malloy. That's the name I use when I'm writing because my name is so friggin' common. I'm a horror enthusiast, horror fanatic, and a horror writer. So I'm kind of the horror guy on the podcast, I guess. But I'm also just, a nerd collage.
I like that.
A pastiche.
Yeah.
Oh, but I like the nerd collage. That's I identify with that remark.
I'm a big reader. I read a lot of fantasy, a lot of science fiction, obviously a lot of horror. I'm also into anime, but really my tastes in anime kind of are mostly in the horror realm.
I'm looking to be able to expand these two's repertoire for anime.
I am also, like, for the record, right off the bat, the not anime person of the group. Everyone I know is into anime to one degree or another, and I have maybe 5 or 6 animes under my belt that I really enjoy, and that's about it.
Yeah. I'm a big gamer. I play a lot of video games. I have a son. He, him pronouns.
Oh, yep.
And what
I thought you meant for your son.
For your son?
Wait,
yeah,
no.
I was there too. Like, I know you've.
I just thought it was funny. You're like, I'm going to give my son's pronouns.
Not mine. Not mine.
Just occurred to me. No. I mean, as of right now, they're he, him. I mean, he could change that at any time.
Ooh,
right.
That's a good preface. Yeah. I like that, Patrick.
But for you, he, him.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of what else I can say about myself. Like I said before, I've got a lot of hang-ups mentally. I have I have dissociative disorder. I tend towards I'm fucking place blind. I don't know if anybody listening has that.
Instead of face blind.
Wait,
that's
I'm
right.
Place blind?
I'm place blind. I've
never heard. I've heard of face blindness. I have partial face blindness, but I don't.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend that has almost full face blindness. Yeah.
I see people as their facade, not as their
silhouette.
Their silhouette. Yes, I'm sorry, not
really?
facade.
No, I knew what you
silhouette.
meant. No, I knew what you meant.
All right, so essentially, I'm mildly autistic, and one of the ways that presents itself, and I when I was a kid. By the way, we're gonna swear on this podcast a lot.
Oh, this is not a child.
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, you should have probably said that.
Yeah.
You know what? No, if you're getting it's the first episode, first warning, only warning you're ever going to get. You're vulgar, nasty, awful cunts.
Yes, we are. But I have I've heard it called spatial dyslexia, place blindness, or there's another one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's basically what it boils down to is I have absolutely no sense of direction. And when I tell people that, they're like, "Oh, okay, so you're bad with directions." And then they see it for real in the real world, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
How?
Like I can get lost in my own neighborhood that I've been living in for 30 years. I literally cannot. My brain, for whatever reason, does not have the ability to create a spatial map.
See, that sucks because honestly, I'm almost on the other end of that, where I've delivered for several different places, and as long as I'm living in a place and driving around it enough, I pick it up like a map. Like, I'll be that person you come to, and it's like, hey, you're going to go right on this street, you're going to left on that street, you're going to stop at that right aid, take a left, I'm like almost the complete opposite. So that's wild to me.
No,
What's wild is that I also create a very vivid map in my head. But the thing is, if you ask me street names or something like that, absolutely impossible. But I can be like, oh, the big church with the 3 pews.
It depends.
You're going to take a right there, and then you're going to make a left before you go over the bridge on your left after that. Just keep driving until you see the bridge. You'll know where the bridge is.
For me on that kind of thing, it depends on where we are, because like the neighborhood I grew up in, the neighborhood I delivered in for like when I lived in Ohio, both of those were, I knew it back to front very easily, very simple. But I have to live in a neighborhood for about a year before I feel like comfortable being like, okay, this is where I'm going. And I am more of a landmark kind of person. But after a while, I do start to get to know the street names, and it becomes annoying because nobody else does.
The wild thing is that I just enjoy driving around to the point that I enjoy driving for the sake of completing more of my mental GPS. Like moving towards,
you're unfogging the map.
Yeah,
you're unfogging the map.
I'm a map completionist, and that's what you need to know about me. I guess I should have said that too.
There you go. Yeah,
I can't find my own ass with an atlas.
Well, an atlas isn't going to help you, dear. That will tell you the weather in your asshole, but it's not going to help you find it.
Partly stormy, if anything, today is concerned.
Swampy. It's swampy. It's been swampy for 6 weeks.
Do atlases not have maps in them?
I don't. You know what? Great question. Couldn't fucking tell
okay,
you. The last
so
time I used an atlas was to wipe my ass.
Here's the thing. I think you're talking about an almanac.
Oh, that is. Yep. There we go.
And
Yep. There we go.
I was gonna say, okay, because he convinced me I was.
So hi, I'm Steve. I'm blonde.
and an avid gaslighter, apparently.
Oh no, just dumb. I'm dumb I'm dumb and Polish. I'm blonde and Polish.
I just assume if somebody tells me I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, okay. Fucking no.
You're probably right.
No,
Yeah.
I was wrong, and this is why we have a third party,
Yeah.
because you and I would be wrong all the time if we were doing this by ourselves. No one to actually check us.
Oh my god, please don't tell me I'm like the fact checker of the group. That's gonna end in tears.
Not the fact checker, just the like in checker. Like you gotta check in. You know.
No.
Are you right? No.
I'm the avid checker player.
There you go. Oh, I like check. I chess more.
Most people do.
Is there anything else that you would like to add, though?
Did I can't think of...
You covered the whore, and the fact that you're... so Patrick and... we're talking about being queer.
Yeah. What flavor of queer are you?
What flavor of queer? I don't know. I guess I'm the straightest person in the room.
Valid.
That's 100%.
But that's not... But I'm definitely not 100% straight.
Yeah.
I am in a relationship with a woman,
mm-hmm.
but I'm definitely not 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was only, just to preface this, that was only a conversation we just had recently.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I
had your thoughts and everything, but it's for the three of us, we just started having that conversation.
For you two to turn to me and be like, no, you're queer.
Yeah.
That did happen a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That was a thing where it's like, okay, because then if two other queer people are telling me it's okay to be queer, then I feel like... Because I guess I just always felt like... I always identified with the queer community. I've always been friends with a lot of queer people, but I've always felt kind of like an outsider.
Yeah.
Because I am mostly straight.
Honey, I suck dick, and I feel like an outsider in the queer community sometimes. I get that. Yeah. Very much so. Like, it's... And the queer community's not fabulous for making people feel included, not calling anybody out specifically.
No,
but it's good for that, and you, especially as somebody that has identified as straight for a lot of your life, is...
I really... Okay.
I can imagine feeling even more like an outsider.
I mean, if we're going into that, I really like androgyny. Mm-hmm. I like women who look like boys and men who look like girls. I
do love that we're getting I feel like this is age, sex, location.
Sure.
I was just going to say, everybody at home, bring out your notepad for Patrick and write down your little clues. You're going to want to know these.
There's going to be a test later.
I almost feel like it should be top or bottom switch.
How many of them suck dick?
We are not getting into all of that. It has been established though that I suck dick.
Also, which one of us are bottoms? Leave it in the comments. Leave your guesses in the comments.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But I guess that's about it.
Okay.
I'm sure other shit will come up as we go.
I was going to say, this is the introductory episode where I hope that the people listening end up learning a lot more about us than... You know what? I feel like we're such an open group of friends in the first place, though, is that all this kind of crap comes out in the first, 15 minutes of meeting one another in the first place, where it's I'm neurodivergent and queer and a bottom,
Well, okay, but the thing is I think it's part of our community, our collective community of the neurodivergent queers.
Neurodivergent, queer, and nerdy. Because, honest to God, I feel like you could just say nerdy and that would cover both of those things.
And we like to talk about our sex lives.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
I just think that it's so funny that, when you're in high school, nerds don't get laid, but then you get out in the real world and it's nerds are fucking horny. Nerds fuck.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think they touched on that in, that, what was the name of that movie? We're drinking on the podcast. I don't give a shit if you hear a podcast.
We do drink on the podcast.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Oh, and it's Patrick, you did it.
Ooh, there it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so what are you drinking?
So introducing myself, I'm Steve. Yeah. I am the resident Harry Potter expert, and when I say resident, I mean about this coast of the country. If you Google the phrase "world's biggest Harry Potter fan," I will come up, and I have lots of stories behind that. We're not going to get into all of them right now.
like out of the computer, you're going to come out of the computer screen. Like
totally like Samara.
Like Samara. I was about to say thank you.
You can say it 3 times and spin, and you will appear in the mirror.
Oh my god! Oh, I want to make a video like that now, though. Oh, I want to make a video like that where I'm dressed as like fucking Harry Potter. You know,
it's got to be
my head.
It's got to be like a cross between Samara and Harry Potter.
Yes, exactly. Oh my god! The crawl out of the screen is like naked Albus Dumbledore covered in his hair. That would be amazing.
You got to have your bowl cut.
Oh my god!
No! I would do it as Dumbledore at the stage, just like or like a balding Voldemort.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I'm Steve. I'm the resident Harry Potter expert. I am technically bisexual, homo-romantic. I am in a long-term relationship with my partner Brian. Love you, babe. And I also cover many of the aspects of nerddom. I'm a big video gamer. Assassin's Creed, Mortal Kombat, Pokemon, The Sims. I am kind of a history buff. I'm really into Led Zeppelin for some odd reason.
I didn't know that.
Oh, huge Led Zeppelin fan. Oh, I fucking love Led Zeppelin.
I'm not a peg. I mean, Zepp's great, but I would not have pegged you as a big Led Zeppelin fan.
When we went on our road, we went on a road trip a couple of years ago, and it was my first time to the West Coast. And as we went into California, I put on Going to California.
Oh my god!
It was like 1:00 in the morning, dead of the night, middle of the fucking desert, and I'm driving from Arizona into California, like weeping because like that was one of my favorite Zeppelin songs. But Zeppelin, the reason I love Zeppelin so much is it ties back into Game of Thrones. Or not Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones?
No, not Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Lord of the Rings, because I'm also a Lord of the Rings fan, Star Wars. I'm a LARPer. I do a big LARPing. I go by the name of Everclear. I only ever wear white. White contacts. I'm a fairy of the moon. There's like 6 episodes right there. You know?
the over under that I'm going to refer to Steve as Everclear. I mean, it
comes and goes.
Yeah. Depending on how Everclear you are today.
Well, and it also, like, for instance, like you've come to, so Patrick has come to a LARPing event or two.
Oh my god, you came
us.
to a LARPing event.
Yeah.
Honey, we all come at LARPing events. If you're doing it right. But Patrick, like, when you come to more of those, you will probably start to, like, think of me in that duality of Everclear or Steve.
Right.
Because it's like, because you met me as Everclear.
I did?
Revi, yeah. Like, I was
so did
introduced to Revi as Everclear. Yeah, but, like, the group that we hang out with, that we see each other with, refers to me as Steve just as much as Everclear.
I know, but even before, like, I actually moved here and I met you, when Sarah would talk about you, she'd always use Everclear.
Oh, really?
So it actually took me a little while to like relearn your name as Steve, and to relearn Rune, his partner's name as Brian.
Yeah,
because it's
nicknames also run deep with me.
Sure.
So whenever I get a nickname stuck in my head, it's really fucking hard for me. Here's one: whenever you get a nickname for someone and then they transition, and you've spent the better part of a decade and a half violently opposing other people that had stopped using the nickname for their dead name, effectively now, and then they transition and having to make that mental adjustment of oh shit, okay, the last one I could have been flippant about because it's funny, right? Oh, you had a nickname in college and I never gave it up,
right?
Except I'm the type of person that would have I asked him or her now a million times whenever we were hanging out after college. Is it still okay for me to
call you X, Y, and Z?
And then it was like, once I got the okay, it was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm just going to be like belligerent about this. Who the fuck is that?
You used to do as a baby, baby.
yeah. But then transitioning, and it's like, oh, I'm so in deep with your nickname, but that's not a nickname for a girl, really.
I had a friend that I got to re-meet. I had known them since we did karate whenever I was really young, so like literally 7 or 8 years old.
You did karate? Me too.
I'm a second-degree black belt.
I think we talked about this a million years ago.
I think I made it to brown belt. I don't remember.
But so I knew them at that point in my life, very young, and then I knew them in high school. Again, big gaps in the relationship. And then I was online and I was friends with this person's mom on Facebook. And at one point, whenever I posted stuff about LARPing, she said, "Oh, my son LARPs." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, I'm going to have to look out for Dietrich." That's what I was thinking. And then I'm at an event, and this very tall Amazonian black woman walks past me. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I know her." And I realized that that was my friend. And I went up to her, and I'm dressed like Everclear at that point. And like I said, like, elf ears, white contacts. At that point, my hair was sprayed white, so my hair was white.
This, for the record, is how I met Steve.
Was it really?
You were made up as Everclear.
Was I really?
You really were.
We'll have to touch on that at some point. But like,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I walk up to this person and I was like, "Hi, did you used to do karate at ATA Taekwondo in Westview?" They were like, yeah. How in the fuck do you know that?" And I was like, introduced myself again. I was like, "Stevie, you would have known me as." And she was like, "Oh my God." And she introduced herself to me with both her new name and her LARPing name. So I met her as like two different things. And it was so easy because it's almost like two names, one over the old one. Like, the last name was just two letters, but now she had two names to give me, and it overjoyed.
Like they've completely wiped the slate clean.
Because, because I remember her dead name, but like, I don't refer to her as that. Her mother does,
right.
Though. That was the unfortunate
thing.
That
sucks.
Because her mother was dead. And she's like, "My son does that." And like, she even like commented on one of my videos because at one point I read.
And this was after she transitioned that she said, "My son."
Oh, the girl had titties, and she was saying, "My son." Oh yeah. Yeah, like, it sucks because
that's
we as queer people, we all go to a huge degree, we all go through that kind of thing with, like, somebody in your life is not going to be cool with what you're doing.
Yep.
I am very lucky that well, I think I finished my introduction there, right? Like, I think I want to lay off of that because I think everything. Oh, my neurodivergency.
Yeah. What's your flavor?
What's my flavor?
I don't think you said what you're drinking either.
Depressed, ADD, ADHD, something to that tune. I've got body dysmorphia. It's all kind. It's also a nice cocktail. Never been to a therapist either. Need to make that happen.
Oh, really?
No, I've been to one once, and it was a really bad experience. But I also wasn't in the place to be going to.
It took me like 4 or 5 before I found a really good one.
Yeah, like it was after.
I still need to find a good one.
Yeah.
They're out there.
But
yeah.
Hey,
I am also a nice
everybody out there. I don't care how neurodivergent, how queer, or how nerdy you are. Therapy is good for you.
Yes.
Yeah. I want a therapist.
And if you are having trouble, reach out.
Yes.
Don't suffer in silence.
Insert suicide hotline number here.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah, regional.
And honestly, like, I know this is, like, really cheesy to say, but, like, for anybody out there that might be younger and struggling with this, it gets better. I swear to you, it does.
It's not just a song.
No, it really isn't. And please don't end it because it sucks now.
And then it gets worse again. And then it gets better again.
Yep.
But here's the thing. For me personally, as somebody that was raised in a very, like, pro-Christian, Catholic, Republican household, and being queer, and not only being queer, being bisexual in an environment where I was taught that I chose my sexuality, where you choose to like men.
Right.
I was also very fucking confused.
Of course.
And I have had a few of those attempts. And you know what? Life has been the ups and downs of it gets better, it gets worse, it gets better, it gets worse. But when it's come to being queer, it's only gotten better.
Oh, you're speaking specifically about
to being
queer.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it absolutely only
gets
better.
It has only gotten better for me because knowing yourself and learning to love yourself is a journey, and it is one well worth taking.
And but you have to find the right social network, and you need to speak to the right people about it. You do need to surround yourself with like-minded people.
100%.
Yeah. You need a support system there. Oh, and off of that heavy note, I am drinking White Claw pineapple, or not pineapple, Jesus Christ.
You're drinking White Claw Jesus Christ?
Nope, it's a watermelon.
I'm drinking the blood of Christ.
Yes. The blood of Christ is surprisingly clear and thin today.
I'm just going to be completely honest. I want to make a cocktail called the Blood of Christ, but it better make me cum.
If you can find a cocktail that makes you cum, you can call it whatever the fuck you want because we'll be rich.
I know, right?
I don't know. I still haven't tried your flaming homosexual that you've been promising.
Oh my god!
So on a side note,
we're going to do that on the show.
Speaking of a drink that can make you come, during one of the D&D campaigns that we did, because that is also something all of us are D&D nerds. We all play D&D.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep.
But one of my characters, Ferran, he was the bard, and Ferran talked like this. He was like Tony Chong, man. He was like just a big dumb horny stoner. And
what class?
He was a barbarian.
Okay,
so he was a bard and a barbarian. There was a lot that went into Ferran. I don't want to get into all that now. But at one point, he was attuning himself to the Olam harp, and he played the white note instead of the brown note.
Yeah, I figured it out.
And woke up everybody.
I used context clues.
Woke everybody up in the middle of their sleep with wet pants.
It's like Ray in that one scene in Ghostbusters, which was a children's movie.
Wait, remind me of that, though.
The ghost blew him?
Oh my god, it's been forever, dude.
I was watching that with my son when he was like 6, and I'm like, really? There's a ghost blowjob scene in this movie.
You know, for as many progressive takes that we have gotten over the years, movies, I feel like, have gotten a lot more conservative.
Tame. Because they used to swear in Disney movies.
I don't know if tame is the right word, because in a lot of ways, it's tame in a shitty way.
Yeah.
Which I would say is conservative.
Yeah, yeah.
Watered down?
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Watered down.
That's a...
Because it's just kind of in general, like, I feel like movies have, like, I like something that makes me react viscerally. And whether that visceral reaction is...
My wife and I were just talking about this earlier today. By the way, Steve, you made us both look really bad because we didn't call out our
actual
SOs.
partners by...
I know. No. Kelly, if you're listening at home, I'm here. I love you so much, dear. But Kelly and I were talking about Ghibli films.
Oh.
Sorry, Ghibli, I think is actually how you pronounce it.
I've heard it.
Hayao fucking Miyazaki.
Yes, Hayao Miyazaki.
Yep.
And we were like, what age groups? Because there are Miyazaki films, Ghibli films, that you would show to a 1 to 6 year old.
Well, I don't think I would show Grave of the Fireflies to anyone.
I've never seen that one.
Here's the thing.
Not one that I've ever seen.
I think that there are age groups of Ghibli or Miyazaki films.
Okay, so Princess Mononoke is definitely an older.
Yes, that's what we were saying. We wouldn't show Princess Mononoke.
But fucking Ponyo is for all ages.
Yes, but I would say that's a good one to show to tykes, along with My Neighbor Totoro.
Where do you?
Same.
But
where do you think Howl's Moving Castle and
so
Spirited
here's
Away?
The thing. I think Spirited Away has. First of all, I'm a bad person to ask because I don't like the concept of censoring our
people from watching. I definitely watch things that were before my age.
But I think that maturity is what you should be measuring on.
Well, when they're going to enjoy it.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because, let me tell you, I watched Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind when I was...
never seen that
when
one.
I was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So too young to...
Way too young to be able to watch a movie about the environmental crash of a civilization and the idea of killing nature through technology and things like that.
But Fern Gully's about that too, and that's
valid.
written for
But Hexus by Tim Curry was sexy, and so our whole ass queer fucking generation did not give a shit.
Sexy
you
pollution.
can't
say bitch because he was sexy pollution.
Tim Curry is like a patron saint. You can't touch that man.
I want to do
that. I mean, I wish I could touch that man.
Side note, I want to do that oily skeleton that he does as a burlesque outfit.
Yeah.
It would look so good.
Right? And you just take off his shit.
Oh my god, fooling it. Until you get into your skeleton.
Do you think that the state that the world is in right now with pollution and everything is because an entire generation of closeted Republicans are actually attracted to pollution because of Tim Curry?
He started in the 70s with that generation, got them all with Frankenfurter, and then turned around and did it with Hexus and Ferngully.
They watched Ferngully and Rocky Horror and were like, oh, but technology and pollution and bad science... And also,
bad science,
clear-cutting bullshit and stuff like that. Oh, this is very attractive. I don't know why I like this.
I should.
Something here.
You probably figured this out, but we're a very leftist podcast.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Did they miss it with the neurodivergent, queer-friendly, and nerdy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like something about that says pretty left.
Don't-
Like, some of my first words were, I suck dick. Okay? I don't feel like you're about to be like, that guy's a Republican.
Other than the stray,
Well,
weirdly conservative...
Family that I come from?
No, the conservative queers out there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, you do you, boo.
God bless
But-
and good luck.
But, like, that ain't us. But I'm sorry.
No, you just actually, like, so neurodivergence here, you totally just sent my brain into a Knight's Tale reference, where it's like, welcome to the new world. God bless you. Or
Yes,
however that
yes.
fucking line goes, but, like, that scene just played in my head the way that you said
Fun fact, I watched A Knight's Tale for 1 month exactly after Heath Ledger's passing.
Aw, that's a
Because that movie was formative.
Same.
That
Why? What is that like? Just like our generation, or is it like the queer neurodivergence?
and here's the thing: it's not like the greatest movie of all time.
No,
it's actually a pretty.
It's fucking terrible. Really, what you
I'm not going to go as
girl,
far
you know
as
what? I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's historically inaccurate.
I'll back up.
Shit.
It's really badly written.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yes, I will agree with that.
It's
The acting is
written,
good.
but the acting is
The
actually
acting
really
is
good
good.
because it was so many up and coming
And
actors and
everybody
actresses.
in that movie. I know the career of every person in that movie just because they have shown up in things that I'm also interested in.
I know, but also The Replacements. I don't know if you remember The Replacements
The
with
football
Keanu
movie.
Reeves.
Have not seen it. Not a big sports fan, so
You don't have to be a sports fan, I don't think, because I'm not a big fan of hand egg.
The fuck is hand? Oh, football.
American football.
It took me a second, like, what the fuck is hand egg?
It's where you carry the hand egg down the field, right?
Foosball, Bobby Boucher.
To be fair, I know more about it than that.
Okay.
But that those two movies, I saw The Replacements in theater like 5 times.
Yeah.
But then again, that's because I was a bubble child and I didn't have friends.
It was also probably because it was like, you're a boy and this is what you're supposed to watch.
My parents were so fucking happy at the time.
That was the only reason I saw Remember the Titans. Like, you know, however many times, because all of my, like...
You're just slightly younger than me, Steve, and so that was a movie that I managed to not have to
Am
watch.
I, though? Because you just announced earlier you were 34.
No, I said 38.
Girl, I'm pretty sure you said 34.
Well, okay.
I was like, God, I thought you were older than me. So when you said it, I was like...
No.
Revi over here trying to lie about her fucking age.
Oh my God. Let me break out my dead-named driver's license so that you can...
I'm the youngest one here. I'm in my 20s.
Oh my
you
God,
can all
yes.
suck my gay ass. Fuck off.
Promise?
I'm 41.
No, but...
And I'm 34.
And the joke is that Patrick's SO and I made an agreement where we're just going to say we're 27 every year for the rest of time.
I recently had one of my best friends, okay? The girl whose wedding, my friend Nicole, whose wedding I was in very recently. I'm on the phone with her, and, or we're texting actually, or something, however the fuck it was going down, but she was talking about a mutual friend of ours who was pushing 40, as she said it, right? She goes, he's pushing 40, and I was like, wait, well, how old is he? I forget. I thought he was just around my age. And she goes, oh, well, no, he is 36, but, like, that's pushing 40.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pushing it from far away.
Fuck right off.
And I said, okay, girl, I'm gonna be 35 this year. And she goes, well, yeah, you're pushing 42. And I went, that was homophobic.
How dare her?
That was fucking homophobic. And later on, I was telling this to
shit.
Puck, who these two know, another mutual friend, and he looks at me and goes, no, that wasn't just homophobic, that was a hate crime.
Yeah.
And then a day later, I got to see this girl, like one of my best friends on Facebook, comment on another random mutual friend of ours, and she said something like, "Oh, that makes me feel old and hurts my soul." I was like, "Well, at least it didn't refer to you as pushing 40, you ignorant bitch."
Anytime someone in their late 20s says, "Oh my God, that makes me feel so old," it's like.
If you were born before 9/11,
sweetie.
I mean, if you were born after 9/11,
I was guilty of that too.
Right.
But
you don't have the right to call yourself old.
Sweetie, please. For everybody at the table, you are approaching the adults table here at 30. You don't have to say getting old. You'll know when you're joints start to ache, and you put on your extra 20 or 40 or 80.
Well, and fuck that kind. Even the mental changes is what did it for me.
I know.
Oh my god, because like nothing makes me feel older than talking to a 21-year-old. Mm-hmm. Again,
I see anyone under the age of 30 as an actual child.
You know what's... I hate to say that because I absolutely was not a child at that age.
I can't say that.
But life had fucked me. It might have only been with half the shaft and with very minimal lube.
Wow, that's a lot of action.
Yeah, well... What an action I wanted, hon. I wish that was, like, consensual, like, when life fucked me. Never took me out to dinner first, never used lube. Sometimes it used a cactus, you know. But, you know, your 20s are
That could
rough.
be fun.
My 20s were better than my
What
teenage
the fuck
years.
would you call cactus play? What?
Wait, are we defining?
You know what? We can't do this.
Is this
next time on the Left-Handed Society, cactus play?
I
guess I'll be in charge of that episode, folks. So tune in.
I've been through some shit, man, and it would bring this down quick.
But like, I'm just saying, your 20s, like people. I don't ever want to discredit somebody in their 20s because you can go through some bullshit in your fucking 20s, man.
Me personally, though, my childhood
I had to
was
grow
the
up
worst time of my life for the most part.
You know what? I feel like I was kind of the same way. Like, I feel like once I started getting into my teenage years and when I learned to lie to my parents.
My 20s were pretty good.
Cheers, bitch. Whenever I learned how to lie to my parents, I was able to lead a life that made me happier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So to me, it wasn't so much about lying to my parents as it was about the freedom of being able to just choose who I wanted to spend time with, and like I think my brain chemistry had settled into a place where I was like, okay, so this is what I am.
Yeah.
I'm not a constant fucking shifting chemical soup.
Right. Yes,
no,
you are.
I was.
You are, though, especially like when you get into your teenage years. That is all you are, is a shifting mass of chemical soup.
No, that's what I'm saying. When it was in my 20s.
Gotcha.
Try going through your second puberty when you're pushing 40.
I don't want to know.
You said it, not us. That's okay when you say it. You know what I mean?
I know. Yes, I have the green card for it.
When she asked, she goes, "What the fuck should I say?" I was like, "You should say I'm pushing 29 for the rest of my queer ass fucking life."
Yeah.
Is what you should say. And she goes, "Well, what about when you're pushing 40?" I was like, "You get one." And it better be when I am 39 in 10 months. That's when you get to start saying that. I have nothing. Aging, I think, is a wonderful thing because not everybody I know has gotten to age. No, not everybody I know has gotten to the age that I'm at.
This is a queer podcast.
It is.
And it's a neurodivergent podcast.
Queer cast.
These two ideologies, these two things are communities are inherently bad shit happens.
They are inherently plagued by those kinds of things.
Yes.
Where people go much earlier than, like, you know... I do like how, by the way, like, let me just address that we have been like, okay, podcast, we're going to do a podcast, it's going to be fun. And half of the subjects we've been like, dark, deep, existential shit.
Yes, but we're doing it in a fun way.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm going to talk about tribbles next episode after talking about the...
okay, I don't know what that is, and we're not about to.
You don't know what tribbles are?
There are troubles with tribbles.
Okay, wait, hold on. Since both of you know what this is, then educate. Go ahead.
It's
you're the Trekker.
Yeah, I guess I'm the Trekker at the table.
I've only ever done, just to give you a background on my Star Trek, I absolutely fucking love Star Trek Voyager. Okay, like girl
That's
power.
okay. There's coffee in that nebula. That's a good thing.
I have no idea what the fuck that means. But...
Oh, I do.
I was for me, it was Next Generation. I was a big fan of Data.
But you're a huge Trekkie then. Yeah. That's like something that
you like. Oh, I found this out the other day. Trekkie's a bad word.
It's not a bad word, but it's
derogatory.
Trekkies are like the super, like the ones that'll go to like a convention but not like dress up or know Klingonese or like, you know, like wear a Starfleet uniform.
See, I just always took a Trekkie as like, you know, I'm a Potterhead. Like,
I thought so too.
Trekker is the polite term.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a Trekker, not a Trekkie.
I'm a Trekker.
Okay, I just
Potter.
Yes.
Lick.
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
Lick the darkest and sweatiest spot of my tape.
You just
He's like, don't fuck off. I'm so sorry.
Don't tempt me, Frodo.
You just sounded Riff Raff when you said the Potter.
Potter.
Come on.
Would you like to do the time walk?
Let's do the time
Okay,
walk,
the problem
Potter.
is that I've lost my really low register, and so I can't go as low for Snape as I used to, so it's only going to be
Riff
Raff.
Raff.
See,
Yeah.
my problem is that, like, my two
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Potter.
Hello, Potter. Come in out of the rain.
My two Snape. Oh my god, that was totally Riff Raff.
Thank you.
Oh my
That
god.
was totally. Hello, Potter. Coming from out of the rain.
You're wet.
You're wet. Take off your clothes.
Hold on, I don't want to spray this.
Do you look
this
like- do you look
delicious red stripe Jamaican lager beer?
Is this the first time you've had Red Stripe?
It's not the first time, but it's the first time in a long time.
But
I don't want to spray it all over this nice microphone.
Oh, understandable. I just had an entire scene play out in my head and was so disturbed.
Oh no. Hopefully it doesn't go into a full tulpa.
Oh, hello, Potter.
Actually, would that
I
be,
see that you come up
would
to
that
my
be
castle
so bad?
wet
With
and in need of assistance. Take off your robe. Do you look like your mother under there? You have her eyes. Do you have her tits? I just...
You have your mother's nipples.
the deedly boop up above the head. When they're wearing the space. Yeah, but as Snape.
Let's see what's on the slab.
Oh, hold on. Okay, because, like, you know, I did introduce myself as a Harry Potter kind of thing, and we did decide, like, you know, we have these inner nerdy things that we all do agree on, and, like, what are your houses?
Oh, Slytherin.
Slytherin.
Really?
Oh, Hufflepuff!
Yeah.
You're
This
a
always
Slytherin?
happens.
What do you mean? Are you a Slytherin? Yes. I mean, okay.
I mean, it's on brand
First
for
of
me.
all, we're going to get into this
Yeah.
because we're going to have discussions on Harry Potter. I am trans. I'm not a J.K. Rowling fan.
Wait, you're trans?
Shut the fuck up. And I'm sure the moment that the community, my community, heard a trans person hanging out with a Harry Potter fan, it's
A gay Harry Potter.
We are.
Or, I'm sorry, bisexual.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever you.
Honey, the fact that I'm in a relationship with a man and whatnot, gay is fine.
I'm going to start referring to myself as the straightest queer in the room.
I love that for you, but...
No, just the idea of, you know, we are talking about the intellectual property of a touchy subject. We're going to do that. We're going to get into that. We are going to be extremely respectful of that.
Yes.
But that being said, J.K. Rowling's a total piece of shit.
Oh yeah, fuck J.K. Rowling.
Well,
we can put that up.
In, like, throwing my weight into this conversation as hard as I can. So, like, we talked about, like, I'm the world's biggest Harry Potter fan. I made a video 10 years ago that was... Movie Phone was looking for America's biggest Harry Potter fan, and I made this really cocky video on YouTube, in kind of the early days of YouTube, really. Where I was like, I'm the world's biggest Harry Potter fan. And, like, I did an accent for the whole thing, and it was a whole fucking thing, and it went viral because it was, like, a week before the Deathly Hallows Part 1 came out, okay? Part of that is that, being the world's biggest Harry Potter fan, I had a collection that got me into the Guinness Book of World Records. I have had Tom Felton, the guy that plays Draco Malfoy, come to my house. I have all of my tattoos so far are Harry Potter, and one of those is J.K. Rowling's signature. Which is the first tattoo I ever got when I was 17 years old, and it's become a point of fucking contention.
Sure.
To be,
Absolutely.
you know, because having been raised in a conservative area, family and whatnot, I kind of, like, I saw where J.K. Rowling's shit was coming from. I'm like, I see where your thought process is going. Even though it's wrong, I see it, you know, like, because I see that happen with all these people around me. And to be like, well, no, I don't agree with that. I kind of kept giving her chances. There was just eventually, like, a turning point where it's like, bitch, you keep doubling down. So, like, that is to say, in all of this, I am shoved so far up Harry Potter's fucking ass that my feet might as well be his butthole hair, okay? But J.K. Rowling can fuck herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation too because, like, I fully believe that you can separate art from an artist. And I've said...
Hard while they're alive.
It is hard while they're alive.
It is hard
and I
while
was
they're
going to
alive.
mention the fact that I am a huge Lovecraft fan.
And
huge. And he was a piece of shit.
the fact that I have read Lovecraft, I'm
Yeah.
hoping is making him spin in his fucking grave.
Well, have you... Okay, not to go off subject or anything, but have you seen Lovecraft Country?
Oh, it's so good.
It's so fucking
It's
good,
so
and it's
fucking
such
good.
it's so cool that it's like a love letter to Lovecraft's work and a fuck you to him personally.
I
at the same
know.
time.
It's so
great.
perfect.
I love that.
Yeah,
But anyway,
it's almost an entirely black cast.
we have gilded the lilies
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
far.
Sorry.
Why do I not strike you as a Slytherin?
Oh, that's right.
I don't know because you're
That's
not,
where that's how we got off
We
on this
wanted to
whole
cover. We wanted to cover the J.K. Rowling.
Yes, piece of shit, J.K. Rowling. Fuck.
But
Don't get our money.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Don't give her money.
Yeah.
We won't give her money.
You're sweet.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Slytherin.
Slytherins come off to me as being like manipulative, and
Oh no.
but then I'm not.
Your fucking girlfriend is a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Patrick.
I know.
She is the sweetest person anyone.
Love you, Sarah. By the way, I was the only one who didn't get a chance to.
Yeah. See, I fixed it, and
Thank you.
so
Thank
had
you
to,
for the
you had to
end,
jump
yeah.
in.
Came up organically then.
Yeah.
That's true.
But Sarah is like one of the sweetest fucking people I've ever met.
Yeah.
She's a Slytherin.
Yeah.
I have also seen Sarah where I've been like, bitch, you a Slytherin?
I mean, the
You
moment,
know?
the moment you sit down and play Magic the Gathering with Sarah.
Oh yeah, she's fucking brutal.
Exactly.
Manipulative.
That's actually
Brutal.
That is exactly what maybe somebody said something about her playing in Magic, and I went, "What house are you, girl?" And she was like, "Slytherin."
Yes.
And I was like, I see it now.
I don't. Yeah, she's Slytherin.
Yeah,
What, you're,
I know.
What, you're
But-
only
but-
into Slytherins?
Yeah, I'm only into Slytherins. That's
yeah.
my kink.
Oh, that's why you're Slytherin in.
Yeah.
Slytherin, and
Yeah.
we need to make a rap song.
I-
Slytherin and-
I don't think
Slytherin and-
I don't think that's the right move.
You're right. It's a trap song.
There we go.
it's sorry, left out a letter.
But Slytherins are determined.
Yeah.
They are
ambitious.
ambitious.
They are cunning and shrewd.
That is true.
in
I
which
believe-
she is.
I believe I fit that mold. And also incredibly fierce friends.
Cunning
Yes, and that is
is a
something.
loaded word. Yeah.
Cunning meaning, like, when I say cunning, it's more like, for me, understanding, like, even being like either neurodivergent or hypersocial, is being able to understand situations and navigate them.
Yeah, but
Socially.
cunning can also imply that you're good at lying for your own benefit.
Oh,
Have
bitch,
you-
I was the best
I'm
fucking
sorry,
liar.
hold on though. Have you played Magic with Sarah?
Yeah. I'm talking about in the real world.
I don't think that it's
Yeah.
necessarily
You don't have to
contained in
separate
that.
those. Yeah.
I don't think
Because
that's contained.
I am extremely like different depending on like I'm obsessed with violence and blood and gore and stuff like that. But in the real
Yeah,
world,
but that's not what I think makes you Slytherin, though.
So I think
no, I know
Yeah.
I know it's not. But I'm just saying that there's a duality there because if
Yeah.
you meet me in real life, I'm actually a pacifist.
Yeah.
So there's a huge duality.
Oh my god, I bet you're a Slytherin Hufflepuff, aren't you?
I have no idea.
okay, technically speaking,
I would say
that I am a
Ravenclaw,
Slytherpuff.
So, oh my god, it would be so funny if that was this entire dynamic. So, Patrick, we will get you to take the actual test here after we get done recording.
I did it.
Oh, you remember what your second house was then?
Did it give me a second? I think it was Ravenclaw.
It gave you all four.
I think
It
it was
gives,
Ravenclaw.
yes,
Yeah,
it gives
it
you
gave
your
you
second.
Oh yeah, Gryffindor was my lowest one. It was. I'm pretty
thank
sure it
God.
was Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff.
I think it might have been Ravenclaw
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Because I'm obsessed with puzzles and knowledge and stuff.
Well,
like
you're
that.
also just like something about when it comes to houses. So that's right. Revi, Slytherin. Patrick, Slytherin. Me, Hufflepuff. But I'm also have always said, one of my friends used to say that I was a snake in badger's clothing. Because I am extremely Slytherin, and it's almost more like dependent on like what part of me you piss off.
You're listening to the
What
Slytherin
comes-
cast.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Oh my god. But
Yes.
what comes? Somebody just got off. somewhere.
They're like,
It was-
oh,
there
man,
it is.
I needed this particular cocktail
Yeah.
of people to just start speaking in.
Yeah.
Right.
It was me.
Oh,
I was
okay.
the one I got off.
Oh.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, it's a mess.
Oh,
I'm
I'm so happy for you.
It's all right. It's my house.
Yeah. Get the fucking steamer out. Get the rug.
All right, Stanley, go get your steamer.
But what the fuck were we?
Slytherin house.
Slytherin.
You're a snake in Badger's clothing.
If you fuck with people I love, you get the Hufflepuff. That really ferocious, no holds barred comes out. If you fuck with me, like if you like hurt me or betray me in a certain way, my Slytherin comes out, and it's a miserable.
See, I'm the other way.
Oh, like, so patient. Like my Hufflepuff like supports my Slytherin though. Like I'm a Hufflepuff. How did somebody put this? I am a Hufflepuff moon and a Slytherin rising. Is that somebody said?
My star
so
sign.
Good.
What's your sign? Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Hufflepuff moon, Slytherin rising.
I'm that big badger in the sky.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so. Yeah, we are a very snaky crew here.
I'm the other way, where like I don't defend myself in any way, shape, or form. I'm basically a punching bag. But if you hurt my friends, I will destroy you.
Yeah.
I will break you down at the sediment on which your house exists. And work my way up.
And that's me as a Slytherin, though. And it's funny because I feel like that is much more of a Slytherin quality to be like, so that thing you and I have in common, I feel like that's a much more Slytherin quality. Where you're like, oh, if you fuck with somebody that I love, or even, like I said, if you fuck with me, it's still a patience that goes into it. Okay? And that's a Hufflepuff quality. But it's also a long, vindictive con, which I feel
long
is
game.
very Slytherin, though. Because it's snake lying way, you know?
I am a little bit Polish, a little bit Jewish, but I am also fully half Irish. We know how to...
Wait. And hold on to that grudge, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why you wait. A bitch, I can hold on to a grudge.
Yeah.
That's why I can wait.
I'm like 115% Irish.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Give a little bit more for the rest of us.
No, I
actually
have
a tumor that is just a very Irish tumor that is
right here.
15%.
Right there.
That's the 15%.
But no, I actually do have a mixture of a couple of other things sprinkled in, but I'm very, very Irish.
It's just to add a little flavor.
It's a little flavor, a little bit. It's all European. I'm white as fuck.
Yeah.
Right. We are. That's something. We are white. We apologize.
Listen, I am mostly white.
I'm white.
And
sorry.
The portion of me that is Jewish is white when it's really convenient. But
yeah.
But depending on the audience, again, hey, we're a leftist podcast.
Yeah. Right. I was raised Catholic.
I'm white, but I got black friends. I own a black cat.
All right.
Terrible.
Oh God, I own her.
Oh God, you're getting canceled as we speak.
Shit.
Right.
So, next week
we'll be introducing
not just me and Revi and somebody.
We'll be introducing our special guests that are going to be taking over for He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah.
That is how we should start referring to J.K. Rowling on this podcast.
She who should not be named. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's inside joke for Potterheads.
Is it really? I've never heard it. I mean, that seems
it's an
very
inside joke for a lot of Potterheads who just don't agree with this
very
shit.
on brand.
Yeah. I do feel like it's kind of a fuck you because I have to look at it every day. Imagine masturbating and looking at it and being like, "There you are, Joe."
Don't say that. That's my cat's name.
Why'd you put it on your main hand?
Because that's the arm I stuck out for her to sign.
And you got it signed that way. I thought maybe you got it printed out.
No, dear.
And then...
I had a pen in my hand, a marker in my hand, and I shoved it through I was waiting there for 6 hours to meet that bitch, and I shoved Sharpie through that and stuck my arm out, and I was like, my arm, sign my arm. I forgot my book, which she had already signed. But I was like, I forgot my book, and so she just took it out and signed my arm.
To be fair, she signed it really well for skin.
So he kind of had to help recreate it with the one from the book because it was so faded by the time I got home. I got it on the 2nd of August. Jesus Christ. 2nd of August, 2006.
Oh.
And I know, I saw it was 14 years old recently and was like, ugh.
I was not in college and working at UPS.
It was the year I graduated high school. But I didn't get the tattoo until the 4th of August. So we had to travel home from New York.
You had it like taped up?
No, because I didn't want it to sweat.
Oh.
I did tape it up when I took a shower that night, though. I took the shower like this. Like with my arm out of the shower.
To be 100% fair, 99,999 people out of 100,000 are not going to know that's J.K. Rowling's signature.
You know what's funny, though? So the first time I ever... I did decide not to get the tattoo covered up, right? Because I was like, my partner actually talked me out of it. Brian was like, you shouldn't get that covered because I think that, like, that's your first tattoo that you ever got. It's got a great story behind it and all this. And he was like, I don't think you should cover it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm comfortable having it, And same kind of thing, he proposed the same logic where he was like, not many people are going to know that. And so right as this was coming out, he and I went on that road trip across country. And when we were in California, we were in this trailer park. And a trailer next to us, we ended up like really getting along with these neighbors,
cute.
like had this wonderful time with them. It was all this bullshit that happened at that site. But as we were talking, I noticed that the one girl, black woman, has a bunch of Harry Potter tattoos, and she's sitting there with like 2 or 3 other girls, but at least one of them was trans. And I was like, we're talking about it, and at one point someone went, so is that J.K. Rowling's signature on your arm? And we'd already stood there and bullshit for a half hour. I'm standing there smoking, my thing, because it's, we're not sharing anything, but I'm standing there doing my thing. They're bullshitting with me. We're like keeping our distance, and they're like, yeah, so it was J.K. Rowling's signature on your arm. I'm like, yes, it is. And we ended up having a conversation where they were like, okay, like, how's that? How's that?
How's that working out for you?
Yeah. And I was like, I really fucking hate that I have this, and I thought about getting it covered, but I think it says a lot more for me to be able to have it and, own up to that and talk about it. Because I don't agree with her, and you, like, do shit, like, look me up, like, world's biggest Harry Potter fan. And it's like, I have a lot to say about J.K. Rowling now, though. If you, like, tried to interview me to be like, so how do you feel about X, Y, and Z? I'd be like, J.K. Rowling is a TERF. Like, right into the microphone, so.
Noted TERF, J.K. Rowling.
Right, exactly. So, it's, like, something I decided to hold on to, and I'll eventually get it crossed out, but it's going to be in a very nicely stylized way.
I think that's pretty. I think that would be pretty, and I think that's nice.
Just get the word nice fuck right above it. Fuck J.K. Rowling.
I'll tell you more about this later because I don't want to go.
Yeah. We'll get into it whenever we
get into it off camera, so to speak. Yeah, we're going deep.
But 4 inches is deep.
I think.
So as we wind this conversation down and come to the end of the premiere podcast here. I guess we wanted to talk about a little bit about what we are going to be covering going forward. And so...
what we're all about.
Yeah, what we're all about.
In case you haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, in case you didn't read the tin.
Right.
It's mostly going to be us getting drunk and talking about random shit.
Yep.
So, but no, I'm going to cover horror movies, horror literature, horror video games, whatever it is that I happen to be into at the moment on my end.
Whatever your special interest
Whatever my special interest is, I definitely...
because honestly, that's probably the main focus of this podcast. What's your special interest in the moment? I've been balls deep in this thing.
I'm also a huge Whovian, so I'm sure Doctor Who is going to come up.
Oh, that should be something that would be cute to, like, let's watch this as a group and discuss.
I would love that because, I mean, so it goes from Patrick to Steve to me when it comes to, like, Who knowledge and Whovianism or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Whovianism, it sounds like a religion, and I'm not arguing.
I'm not surprised that it's come up because we've we're creating a small cult-like atmosphere here for our podcast.
Did you say Pridecast? Because that's a great
no, I said
name.
podcast.
I don't know what you wanted to say, but it sounded like you said broadcast.
I thought you said Pridecast.
A podcast sounds like a great way to say like a pornographic podcast because it's a broadcast.
Sorry, the audio quality is not going to depict the pelvic thrusting that just happened.
The fact that the audio quality went way back here.
I know, yeah, you can tell.
and also, as you said, the audio quality should get better. than this first episode because we are just sitting around my dining room table with a single microphone.
Yes. Apologies in advance for
but Who is one of those things that I think it's one of those few genres of things that like completely encapsulates something that all three of us are interested in.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those ones that a little watch along for, the Ninth Doctor or like a season of 10 or something like that.
I mean, just as we've done this little episode here, I feel like we've uncovered. So obviously, Doctor Who, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What was? Oh my God. LARPing to some small degree because we're all kind of costume nerds. We decided that we were all band geeks at one point.
That's true.
We have uncovered a lot of common ground just in this episode right here.
I wasn't a band
that's
geek.
Gonna be a new one.
I was in a band, bro.
Okay.
That's actually true.
I played clarinet in middle school and then was in a band, brah. I was in high school.
I was in a band.
Yeah.
So was I.
A concert band.
I was the vocalist.
No, I was in like a pop punk band.
Were
man.
you really a clarinet player?
No, a drummer.
Oh. I was
a drummer.
I was going to say that's oh my God, that's so queer. That you were a clarinetist
that
in
would
a
have been the ska band. I would have loved to have been.
I know.
I was a heavy metal vocalist, bro.
Oh God, we need to stop with the bro thing. I feel like it's getting really, really oppressive in here.
Okay, brotato chip.
Brotato chip.
Okay, bro side. Looking at the broshin.
Bro.
Oh my God.
Dude, check the broshin in your ocean.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. I don't know what that means.
Chill out, Broseph.
Yeah.
But basically, we all have our special interests, and that's something that we're going to be all diving into from week to week. Mm-hmm. Our categories might range from like, why are tits in horror films? To,
That's actually a good question.
I know, right?
That's actually really good. Let's go into that.
Let's go into that.
Yeah. My pan ass was just thinking, like, why wouldn't there be
why not more tits in horror?
I mean, here's the thing: for all of our ages, that is the operative question: is why aren't there tits in horror films? Because there should be boobies in horror films.
Yeah.
The fuck are we doing?
I mean, to be fair, there used to be a lot more tits in horror.
Dude, the classic like 80s slashers, it was like there was a pair of tits for every time somebody got killed. It was like boobies, but violence.
Blood, shower scene. Blood, shower scene.
Well, you have to get clean after you make a mess. Ooh.
But yeah, anything from that to general nerd bullshit that we all sit there and go, it's shower thoughts, stoner thoughts, that kind of thing. We're just gonna bring it to the table and discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's all of our shower thoughts ready.
Oh gosh, I'm sweating.
All of our shower thoughts.
So we're gonna end the podcast right now.
My shower? I was gonna say,
go.
Somebody's already getting a shower. After my feet.
After that, all my shower thoughts are about Steve.
Everybody's showered that baby.
You are definitely a thought, that's for sure.
Oh,
I am.
Shower thoughts.
Yeah, that's the tattoo
You're a
I'm going to get
shower.
above my ass. There
Aww,
we go. Yeah.
That's kind of cute, though.
Yeah, T-hot.
So you're not T-Pain. That's T-hot.
I'm T-hot.
That's unfortunate.
Stands for totally hot.
Sure does. Sure does, Steve.
That's not where I went with that.
You go get 'em.
It stands for tetanus. Hot.
Pertussis?
You don't know. You don't.
Testicles.
You don't know what happens if I...
No, I got rid of those a while ago.
Oh, no. You made Steve dribble.
Ooh,
no,
there
actually was no dribble. There was none in the
man.
beard. It was more of a snort. Some of it came into the nose cavity.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, which is more painful.
All right, so Revi.
Revi?
Yes.
I'm Revi.
Yeah, you are. So what are you going to be covering?
Oh, Jesus. I was like, so
Revi
on the
fucking
spotlight. I absolutely thought that I was back in fucking high school, like going to talk to a counselor or some shit. Like, so Revi.
I just have the darkest thought. What are those marks on your wrist?
Oh my god! Well, as you can see,
I had a lot of friends that dealt with, again, like, reach out to someone, please, but dealt with that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it was always like the cat, and I'd have them be like, you know what it was, but if anyone asks you, it was the cat. Because,
Yeah.
Because our generation is so evil.
But to your point, I suppose.
I wasn't trying to kill myself.
No. You're fine.
The pain just makes me feel alive.
Well, I'm glad that I can give you something.
Oh my god, wait, hold on, write that down and sell it to My Chemical Romance.
I wasn't kidding.
I feel like
I know you're not.
I feel like I'm the wild card jack of all trades. I'm going to be doing all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
I feel like we are, to a huge degree, as nerds, all of the three of us jacks of all trades when it comes to nerdy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like between the three of us, we have such a large, like, gamut of shit that we like that overlaps with each other, It's this big fucked up Venn diagram, Yeah,
I mean, I could sit here and say, I'm definitely going to do anime 24/7.
Right.
I'm going to be bigger than Crunchyroll. But
that sounds, so in that context, it sounds like a drag queen. I don't know why. But Crunchyroll sounds like a fantastic...
bitch, I'm going to be bigger than Crunchyroll.
That would be such a good drag name, though.
It would be so good.
Crunchyroll would be. I know what Crunchyroll is, too.
What the fuck does Crunchyroll mean?
What do you mean?
What is it? I mean, I know what it is. I know it's an anime, like... But what does it mean?
Well, that's a sushi roll.
Oh my god, I was wrong.
I had no idea.
What?
Well, I said it reminds me of sushi.
It is. A crunchy roll is a very common roll of sushi.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Like with little pieces of like tempura on top.
Can I eat it?
You could totally.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I'm allergic to shellfish. Can I have a crunchy roll?
I think.
Oh.
Well, I mean, let's do a few podcasts before you try.
I do like that we both made the same kind of sound. No.
Here's the thing: I don't know that I would trust.
Yeah.
Anywhere that is even preparing the shellfish.
It would be us being very shellfish.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Before we go.
Yeah, we want to end this in the toast.
We gotta christen this podcast.
We do indeed.
We have our little shots of bourbon over here from Lucky Sign.
Yep.
And I just wanted to say, let's have fun here.
Yeah.
And, no matter how long this goes, how many people are listening.
Welcome to the Left Hand Society.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the Left Hand Society.
As rock,
so
Spock.